All right. I love doing this. Key City Beer is in the house from Vicksburg, Mississippi. And they brew great beer. And it's local. And we've been hanging out with them for a couple of years now. And Jack Bourgeois with Key City Brewery in Vicksburg, is hanging out with us on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And we've got a new beer to try, and then we're going to talk about a couple of the beers that they've had in rotation that are perfect one year round and the other one this time of year. So Jack Bourgeois, also big NFL fan, Tampa Bay Bucks, and deer hunter, joining us on the Out of Bounds show from Key City Beer. Jack Bourgeois, good morning. What's up, dude?
Good morning, man. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Well, I think we should thank you because you always bring beer. The dude that always brings beer,
man,
Jackson.
I have the easiest job in all of Jackson because that's all I do is just bring people beer.
Right.
It's nice. It's nice to have a job where people smile when they see you. That's typically not the case, but yeah, people are usually pretty happy to see me, at least from 9 to 5.
Yeah,
I don't know about after that, but
they are happy to see you. I want to give a shout out to Beagle Bagel in Madison. This is why I love them. I go downstairs and I go, look, y'all have amazing sandwiches and all this. I need you to put together a hybrid Beagle Bagel Madison charcuterie board. And they nailed it.
It was impressive. Very impressive for a bagel shop.
They did. They nailed it. So, first, did you have a good holiday and everything going well?
Good holiday. A little cold out there in the deer stand, but yeah, good holiday. Got to see some friends.
Yeah.
See some family. Yeah, always good.
What have you been able to get a deer yet?
Yeah, I dropped one doe earlier in the season, but I've been kind of picky. Now we got about 10 days left, so I got to fill that freezer. So I'm be taking Zach. I'm taking next week off. Sorry,
dude. As much as you run around, you deserve it. All right, so deer hunter, Tampa Bay Bucks insider,
Sadly.
and craft beer connoisseur, Jack Bourgeois with Key City Beer on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I want to talk about this One Vision beer that you and I are sipping on. So tell our audience about it and why it's awesome.
West Coast IPA that we brought out during the winter. Usually when we hit these colder weather months, you have a beer like Moonchild or Oatmeal Stout and all these darker beers that do so well. Everybody goes right, so we go left because we already have that dark stout. And we have the Irish Red Ale that leans on the darker side. So great beers for this time of year. So bringing out a West Coast IPA, it shouldn't work. It really shouldn't. But it has so far. Cans sold out of the market within the first 2 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So big shout out to Southern Beverage for that.
Wow.
Had to reload them with a whole nother batch. It's a great seasonal beer. Tropical, dank. It is very, very citrus forward. But on the dry side.
I like it.
Hazy IPAs.
It's not overpowering.
Juice forward, yeah, and it goes down like a lager. You can crush these beers, which can get kind of dangerous with a 7% IPA. But it's not 9.5% like our Death on Two Legs, so it's a little bit lower ABV.
Okay, so Key City One Vision is a West Coast IPA.
Yes, sir. If you see the alien anywhere, any of those alien posters, that's what it is.
All right, this is good beer. This I could pair this with a number of things. An unbelievable cheeseburger somewhere local, an oyster po' boy, or a charcuterie board.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Did any of that resonate with you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What about like a bowl of red beans and rice?
Yeah. And also, any type of seafood goes well with a citrus forward IPA.
The shrimp.
So, yeah, I always snag one of these or try to save a few of these for when crawfish season hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Crawfish and One Vision from Key City Brewery in Vicksburg. It's their West Coast IPA. Jack Bourgeois hanging out with us on the Out of Bounds show. Baker Mayfield's biggest fan, or Mike Evans' biggest fan, who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer after having his 11th 1,000-yard season in a row. Do you know how hard that is in the NFL? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And going through multiple quarterbacks.
The best ability is availability, and that man has stayed healthy enough for 11 straight seasons to put up those numbers. First ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt, no questions, and a stand-up human being as well.
He's a good. You're right. He's a good young man, and you just made a good point. He's underrated.
Always been
I don't know how he was part of a Super Bowl team with Brady, but we still lead with 6 to 8 franchises. Not that every franchise is big in the NFL, but he's underrated. I mean, I think if he's with one of the Northeast teams,
big time,
or some of the other, you're talking about a bigger deal.
Big time coverage everywhere. They don't leave him alone.
Right.
I mean, and I hate to use this, but if he's A.J. Brown,
he's awesome.
He's getting all the coverage in the world.
He's
all
awesome.
the pub.
So Mike Evans, do you have a Mike Evans jersey?
Oh, I definitely do.
Nice.
I definitely
should. Yeah.
Jack
Which,
Bourgeois.
I mean, he's the greatest, at least offensively, but I think he's the greatest Buck of all time.
I'm with.
I mean, when you talk about statistically, he's set more records. His name is cemented in the record books. I think more than Derek Brooks, more than Sapp, more than Lynch.
I think you're right.
I mean, there's so many great. All-Star. All-Star is my all-time favorite.
Sure,
all-time favorite.
He's in the top 10, but I think you're right on Mike Evans being number one, even over Derek Brooks and Sapp. Anytime
your name could be mentioned, even mentioned with Jerry Rice, that puts you in a whole nother category.
Yeah, it does.
And he's on the verge, a year away from breaking the record.
You can watch the show you can watch Jack and I drink beer, Key City Beer, right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. That's our channel. YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. We've got a cool Key City Beer can, and I got Mardi Gras beads. And I just told Jackson and Jack before we started the interview that Wendy ordered me a big box of Mardi Gras beads. So I'm actually going to be ready this year and festive. Yeah. So we may have to have a Key City party in studio.
We could do that.
Key City Mardi Gras party in studio. Like later, not just in the morning. All right, speaking of morning, we talk about breakfast beers on the show.
Yeah.
Because there's something to a Saturday morning when you're getting ready to go meet friends, or you're cooking deer sausage, or you got some red beans and rice going, or whatever's happening. Yeah. This time, maybe you're coming back in from hunting and you're at the camp with your boys. Y'all have a beer that has crushed it for you, and it's one of the best beers on the market, period, and it's from Key City. Let's reintroduce it. Tell our listeners about Moonchild.
Moonchild, our oatmeal stout. This beer actually won best 12-ounce can design the very first year we put it out there.
I love it.
So you see that pretty little kitty in the purple can. That's Zach's cat, actually, Luna. But yeah, it's a perfect winter beer, perfect morning beer. It is rich, robust, has all those dark chocolate coffee notes that you get.
I'm picking all that
There is
up.
no additions to it, so it isn't a coffee stout, but it just definitely has that punchy, potent flavor, but it goes down so easy. It literally, to me, it's one of the best beers that we do, and right now during this season, it skyrockets in sales because a dark beer during the winter.
Sure. This pairs great with deer sausage.
Oh, yeah.
With red beans and rice, with crawfish, any soup, crawfish etouffee by itself. But I think breakfast beers are an important part of life.
Yeah.
Because at 10:30 in the morning, when you're trending that way and you're making the pick, Moonchild's always going to be up there. You with me?
Oh, I completely agree. My favorite part about that beer, though, too, is that it's not too thick or heavy or syrupy like some stouts can get. The fact that we pull out and we reduce the gluten in our beer makes those beers a lot more drinkable and not sit as heavy in the gut. So you can actually have Moonchild with a steak dinner or a heavy plate of food and not feel bloated or not feel like you got to move to spirits halfway through your meal or have to take home a ton of leftovers because you decided you wanted to have a beer with dinner.
I love it.
It makes a big difference.
Jack Bourgeois is putting on a clinic now with Key City Brewery out of Vicksburg. And you can find them grocery stores, bars, restaurants. How many accounts are y'all up to now, roughly?
655, I think, was the last I checked. Some of those may or may not be active anymore, but yeah, I think that's about our number right now, pushing that 700 mark.
You've been hustling.
I've been trying, man. We're down on the coast. We're everywhere now. Going to be moving up into the Shannon Market, Starkville, Tupelo area here soon. We're trying to take over.
We got to get you in Starkville. I'll I'll open up the doors for you.
I appreciate it.
In fact, we can go on sales calls together.
Let's do it.
Because, this guy defines ABC. Always be closing. And Jack Bourgeois on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Moonchild year-round or seasonal?
Moonchild's year-round.
I thought it was
initially supposed to be a seasonal, a winter seasonal, but the market demanded it. So we had to switch some things up, and it sells year-round, believe it or not, for a dark beer, especially in the dog days of summer. It's still being sold. But
which is a credit to you and Zach. Yeah. What kind of? I love this glass that you dropped off for us like a year ago.
Yeah.
What do you call this?
Oh, that would be a Zach question on the actual. I think it's a Blossom.
Okay.
Glass?
Don't you think this is cool?
He's gonna kill me on
Josh,
that one.
remember when they came, and we remember the first time we had them.
Yeah,
we took some really cool pics with them.
Yeah,
they're incredible. I have some really good pictures of that glass.
This is the coolest glass. If you're watching on YouTube,
got that.
Out of Bounds Sports, you can check it out. It's like their own version of their chalice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I would call it, the Key City chalice, because Stella and them rolled them out and so on, and Key City said, "Okay, we'll one up you." And it's really, really cool.
Hold that bad boy up right there for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Try to do what the big boys do. But every year for our anniversary, we have a different style of glassware, and
really cool.
that specific style seems to be the fan favorite.
This is fabulous.
It rules.
All right. So Moonchild, we went through One Vision, which is their West Coast IPA. They've just rolled it out. It's delicious, and it's great by itself. Pair it with seafood, among other things. And then we've got the Moonchild from Key City, which may be the ultimate late morning breakfast beer. Brunch, deer sausage, red beans and rice. I'm trying to come up with some other things. Gumbo. This is the ultimate gumbo beer. Moonchild from Key City. Thank you very much. I haven't had enough gumbo lately. I had some down at Merrill in New Orleans, December 15th when we went to the Saints game. Speaking of, y'all are rivals.
Yeah, well,
he's Buccaneers and you're Saints.
I didn't want to say anything about, Evans being locked down
about
every time.
Losing twice this year?
About every time he got locked up.
About losing twice this year? How long has it been? It's been about 5 years since you guys won the division. And that was the year we won the Super Bowl too, right?
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Yeah.
I love this trash talk.
I had to bring in the GOAT.
I'm a real
I hated him before he became a Buck too, okay?
You hated him?
Yeah.
Who? Brady?
How was the trend? Like, did you hate him with the Buck jersey on?
No, I wore it proudly. I had no problem with that.
Are you kidding? Once he became a Buck,
he's
above
Buck.
him.
Yeah, he went from the dark side to Tampa.
My son was a Buccaneers fan. Wilkes was a Buccaneers fan prior to Brady going to Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you, he can own that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's right.
He didn't jump on the bandwagon once Brady left New England. He was already in.
Yeah, what was it that Cam Jordan said? We'll go right back to where we were without Tom Brady.
Yep.
Winning divisions.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm drunk.
All right. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And, he's got
Jackson.
bragging rights right now.
Right
you
this
had
second.
him. You had him for 10 years.
Baker looks great, man. I love it. It's hard not to like the Bucks.
It is.
It really is hard.
That's
not
a
to
guy
like.
you want to party with and drink beer with.
Yeah, I mean,
is Baker Mayfield. He looks like the dude that comes in and goes, "How many beer taps do you have?"
Right.
like at the Keg House.
Yeah.
Which is a great partner of yours.
It's hard
Greg
not to
Parnell
pull for them.
is very, very good to us. They are 2 top 5 accounts for us, basically.
Yeah. So that's the deal. Baker
hard,
Mayfield would love. Let me see which one of
the
these.
man had a scout jersey
This
on
one.
playing defensive tackle 2-3 years ago.
He doesn't care.
Like,
He'll throw down in the parking lot.
I love it. I hate that
He's a quarterback who's built like a refrigerator.
He is. He's a big boy.
Again.
See what he did to Bobby Wagner?
Yeah.
Last week, man, that was disrespectful. I mean, that was the only victory we got out of that game was that clip right there.
Hey, you were in the playoffs.
You were.
So, all right, Jack Bourgeois, Key City Beer. I don't have my phone on me. What time is it? Or what are we? Oh, we got plenty of time. You're listening to ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're talking Mississippi craft beer. Key City out of Vicksburg. Call for it. Find it. Of course, it's damn near every grocery store, and Fleetway Market has it, which is another amazing partner of ours. We were talking about the Keg House this weekend. The Keg House would be a great place to watch SEC basketball or the Commanders and Eagles and Bills and Chiefs. And they have several Key City beers on tap at the Keg House, Highway 51 in Ridgewood.
Yeah, they have One Vision on tap.
They have One Vision on tap. Okay, so their new West Coast IPA, their game day pretzel, they'll serve it with beer mustard and beer cheese at the Keg House.
So good.
It's so good. The gumbo, speaking of Moonchild, is fabulous, and they give you these crackers to crumble up and put them in. Of course, they got plenty of hot sauce. We've been talking about that this week since it was National Hot Sauce Day yesterday. And then the muffaletta, Greg orders the exact same ingredients that Central Grocery in New Orleans uses for their muffaletta for the Keg House on Highway 51 in Ridgewood. I mean, they've got Mississippi Queen. At times they've had Me Vita.
Yeah. Me Vita, Mississippi is probably their top seller right now from what Greg's been saying.
Cool.
But yeah, got a little bit of everything. I think five to six Key City handles in there.
Speaking of, and again, go to the Keg House, drink Key City beer, and enjoy the great food and watch SEC hoops or NFL. So have we gone over this beer?
Which one?
Our Irish Red Ale.
No.
Yeah.
Curse.
All right, Curse.
Yeah. It is a delicious one. Definitely something we'll be pushing and doing a lot of events around St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, it is a great Irish red. There is an Irish bread back in the day in this market that left, and it upset a lot of people. Killian's was one of the first craft beers in the state.
I remember.
And my family, that was the beer that convinced my family to start drinking Key City, because it reminded them of the good old days of drinking that in high school and college. But, yeah,
I remember Killian's
too. Yeah.
I was like, all right, so now Key City has their own Curse Irish Red Ale, and tell me about it.
Toffee, caramel, malt forward.
I got that.
Drinkable. I mean, it's got a little bit of residual sweetness on the back end. Just makes you want to keep coming back for more and take a sip after another sip after another sip.
Dude.
It is a great beer, especially, again, around this time of year. It hits home a little bit extra with this cold weather, but it's a year-round hitter.
I'm excited about this lineup right here.
Me too. It's doing well for us, I will say. We've had a really, really good start to the year.
All right, you wanted to mention what's going on over in Vicksburg at the restaurant and bar. A lot of people, they have the brewery, and they're in all these markets, 600-700 accounts and all that. When you're going through Vicksburg, we want you to hit their restaurant and bar. So talk about what's happening.
Please come check us out. We've got a rooftop bar. We've got an enclosed patio. We're Key City Brewing right down there on Washington Street, 1311 Washington. We've got a few fun events that we're getting ready to do. We're actually getting ready to do a beer and album pairing release.
Nice.
With our friends Inside Voices.
That's cool.
They have an album they just released this last week. It's on Spotify. It's all over the place, called If It Matters. And so we are doing an oat lager with that beer. It's going to be really, really good. So we've got an album release event on the 1st of February at the brewery. And then we have another event, and they'll do a show, a concert, and play and perform all the songs at Urban Foxes on the 22nd. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How about that? Jackson Meadows, does this group know how to party?
That's doing it right. That is
Well,
doing
I'm
it
not
right.
going to lie, I'm drunk.
We try to.
These guys, y'all are on fire.
That's the Vicksburg in them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know how to party if you live out there.
Yeah. I mean, overlooks the river. We don't have as good of a view as 10 South. We will admit that. That's kind of our neighbor sister restaurant. But we still got a beautiful view of the river.
Yeah, your
right
rooftop
on.
bar is incredible.
Yeah. AstroTurf. We've got fire pits and lounges. You name it.
When I did a show there during football season, we went up to the rooftop bar. I may have to do one from there, when the weather turns, April, May.
Yeah.
From the rooftop bar and the whole AstroTurf. They got it's really
You
nice.
could use the break and run over there and win some money. Come on back.
All
Hey
right.
guys, anytime. I think we're closed. The roof's closed down right now temporarily during the winter period. But typically Thursday, Friday, Saturday we have bands on the roof, local artists. We do Thursday. We have a local jam session. So as soon as the weather gets right, Thursday nights is the time to be up at Key City.
What's the move? If I'm going on a Thursday night,
Ooh, I like this.
what am I going to eat? Like, well, what's Jack Bourgeois'
Oh
move?
man, the patty melt is hard to beat. This man can attest to that, but it just kind of depends on the
It's
mood.
Is it? I
Fantastic.
love a patty melt.
I think everyone agrees that the half roasted chicken might be the most delicious dish on the menu.
Okay.
But if you're feeling pizza,
Half-roasted
we have all kinds of different pizzas, from collard greens and Brussels sprouts. We've got our margarita and our pepperoni is to die for. So our head chef Blake Parmigiani, who will have to get in here sooner or later for you to pick his brain. He is
name.
an incredibly talented chef.
What a
His name is
Yeah,
Parmigiani.
so he had
That
no
means
choice,
you rock.
right? He had no choice but to cook. Right?
Yeah.
He didn't have
Three generations of chefs
Yeah,
in their family.
what was he going to do? Be a sales guy?
No.
No.
No way.
His
A
grandpa,
CPA? Yeah, right.
his grandpa owned a restaurant. His dad owns a restaurant. And so
Parmigiani.
It is definitely a
Is he
family.
Italian? He got to be Italian.
I believe so. There's something in there.
He's gotta
Italian,
be.
French.
Sicilian.
I believe they're French. They're
Who
French
knows?
actually.
French?
He's
yeah.
awesome, is what he is.
Yeah. No, they're very very talented family.
Got to get a slice of those that pizza, Jackson Meadows. We got to get you over there.
Yeah.
Jack will buy you lunch.
Yeah, I figured so.
I will definitely buy
Okay.
you lunch. and a beer.
And-
It's on
and-
me. It's on
and a
Key
beer.
City.
So how much does it cost to put my head under the tap?
Well, I have some taps in the office, so
Okay,
we'll just
all
do
right,
that.
sweet.
We'll do that away from
We've
the,
got
the
Miss
groups. of people.
Key City, Mississippi Queen here. You can do that
I
here.
could lay down right there on that bar.
There you go. All right, Jack Bourgeois, we appreciate it. Hey, what did you say you're bringing us in the next month? What food that you make?
Oh, so I do a venison chorizo stuffed jalapeno popper. So if you give me more than 24 hours notice to be on the show, I will definitely bring some by.
Making a pop.
So,
A venison chorizo jalapeno popper.
yep.
Are you kidding me?
Picks for the weekend.
Oh,
I'm going Eagles and Bills, and I don't feel good about the Bills. I just don't want the Chiefs to win.
Same.
Bourgeois, we
I'm
got
going
15
Bill-
seconds.
I almost said the wrong name. Bills and Commanders.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm going
He's going
Bills
with
and
Jaden.
Commanders. How can you go against Jaden?
Can't.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
Everybody loves
so
Jaden
good.
Daniels.
Yep.
He's the talk of the town. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations
very
on
much. We appreciate
everything.
it. Yeah. One more shout out.
Yeah.
Go check out all of our non-alcoholic cold brew.
Nice.
Sorry, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
the one I didn't throw out there.
Yeah,
we
yes.
partner with North Shore here based out of Jackson, and we have a non-alcoholic cold brew that just hit the corner market and is bouncing around to a bunch of different.
Boom.
Thank you for letting me get that in.
Jack Bourgeois with Key City Brewery, beer, restaurant, and bar. Straight out of Vicksburg. Right here on the Out of Bounds show. If you missed anything, you can go to YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. We hope you have a great day. Lunch today brought to you by Martin's in Livingston, and they have Key City beer. We'll see you tomorrow.